2 tablespoons of, if you're doing it that way, 2 tablespoons of gin and 1 tablespoon of creme de menthe. It's pretty simple, and shake it over ice and pour with a little sprig of lime. It's not bad. It's not my drink of choice, but I wouldn't take it back. You know, if this is
what kind of gin are you drinking with it?
Beef Eaters.
Okay.
What about you?
I did a little airplane bottle of Bombay for mine.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. We should roll out the red carpet. You are
there you
Billy.
Go. Yeah.
Billy would bat way out of his league.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, Marcus. Double Dragon. Do you have memories of this movie?
The movie, yeah, but again, I was 94. Like not to rehash past episodes, but from the previous episode. But of course, this came out right before Street Fighter, so this was around the same time. No, actually, I saw Double Dragon on video. I didn't go to see it in the movie for the week and a half that it was there, but in the theaters. But I remember renting it just out of kind of, I'll see what it's like. But that was the following year in 95, and I remember renting it and it just not resonating with me at all. I wasn't too interested in it after that. I do remember, because of Only the Strong and Mark Dacascos, and that's why I kind of wanted to see it too, more so. And then also Patrick Stewart, excuse me.
That would have been wild.
Yep, nope. But yeah, it's it didn't resonate with me at all.
No.
There's not really any memories. What about you?
This is one, once again, I watched. I was a sucker, though. I had no discerning taste when it came to martial arts movies. Mm-hmm. So you put 2 cool-looking dudes in fights, and I'm going to watch it a few times. And this did that. I don't think I saw this in theaters either. This was a movie I certainly rented and watched multiple times. I can still quote some of it, I realized, as I was watching it.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I knew the video game, certainly. So I know I was excited when it came out.
Yeah.
But it did not... I didn't watch it as much as I watched Street Fighter, but certainly I was a fan. And you're right, it wasn't in theaters, but wasn't very long in theaters, we should say. And it's pretty obvious why. So I was a renter for this. I was not a seer in theaters for this one.
Do you remember the taglines for it? Did you happen to look those up?
I looked up all 4.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I saw that.
Which is pretty wild. What are
all
they?
All over the place. So we have Evil has just met its match. Okay, pretty basic,
Not bad, yeah. You could put that on any action movie. Yeah.
Right, yep. We could do that for 12 Years a Slave, and that would still work. We could do, the other one is Feel the Power, Live the Legend, It's the Ultimate Kick.
That's all one?
Yeah.
Feel the Power, Live the Legend.
Feel the Power, Live the Legend, It's the Ultimate Kick. Yeah.
That's the one that they should use, because I think I don't like any of the other ones.
And then the next one is just like, let's just list some adjectives. Power, justice, darkness, light. And that's it. Like, that was it. Nothing, no go get 'em statement or something like that to defeat evil. Just here's some words with commas, and hopefully it pans out.
Well,
then,
go ahead.
Oh, the final one. 2 halves of an ancient puzzle are the only hope.
Great.
That's
so. What's yours?
My favorite, or if I had to make one up?
Both.
I think my favorite one out of them, as corny as it is the Power, Justice, Darkness, Light.
I didn't expect that. Okay.
I just like how it is. It's just like, yeah, whatever. Let's just throw these at it and put it on the poster.
Mm-hmm.
And if it had to be me, I would probably say double the pleasure.
Yep.
Double the fun. Here comes Billy and Jimmy. Watch the bad guys run. Bam. There we go.
That's really good, dude. I was going to say something like, you would think they would use double more, like double the... But you know what I wonder? I wonder if Double Impact used all of them.
Oh, yeah. Could be. And I wonder what kind of copyright Double McGum had on all that, too, because that was like double the pleasure, double the fun.
Yeah.
Big time during
if it was like double the laughs, double the action, double the dragon. Or so, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they really missed out on something. In fact, just for fun, live research right here, double impact movie tagline. Twin brothers torn apart by violence on a mission of revenge. Well, okay, they didn't use any of it, so I don't know what Double Dragon was thinking. So that's the tagline. Yeah, this movie, November of '94, to be specific, it was November 4th, I believe.
Yeah, November 4th.
So a little over a month before we were going to be graced with coked out Van Damme. And it didn't do well.
It did not. Yeah, low budget of $7.8 million, but opening weekend, little over 1.3. As we mentioned earlier, too, it opened in 1,087 theaters approximately, but it was only in theaters for about, not even 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean...
What do you think the issue was? What do you think didn't... Because this has a lot of... I mean, this... Let's not... We'll talk about it more, especially in the nostalgia portion, because this video game was enormous. It was game-changing in a lot of ways, especially for beat-em-ups. Still considered one of the top 10 beat-em-ups of all time. And it had a huge following, and it did enormous business. So you would think the formula is easy. Let's put it in the theaters, and let's let that business just flow over.
Yeah, I just think that you didn't have a big name attached, and that was it, pretty much. I mean, yeah, Dacascos is in it, and he's great at what he does. But I mean, when you're a kid going to arcades, you're not really. I mean, at that time, I was 13, around 14 at that time, so I knew who I'd seen him before, and I knew the name Dacascos. I knew who it was, but at that same vein, it's like kids who are younger kids. If you don't hear Seagal, Van Damme, anybody like that, then it's kind of like, eh.
That's a good point. And, we were, blowing smoke about Van Damme's request to make $8 million, and honestly, it seems like he's worth it. If this is the effect of not having a major star attached to a project, and we can say that Street Fighter had 2 in that it was Raul Julia as well. But they were a $100 million movie. This is a $3 million, or not even a $3 million movie. It's box office. Now, maybe, who knows how it did on video, but $2,341,000.
Yeah, that's not great.
Ooh.
I mean, just thinking this whole time, and I know he's not martial arts trained, but I mean, coming off kind of like a high late 80s, early 90s, career. What if you threw in Ralph Macchio with this, or something? I mean, that I bet you would have seen a better spike in something.
You're not wrong.
With that too.
He was too busy doing Crossroads.
Right, Crossroads. I just remember that band. Isn't he on the cover with the banjo or something? Or
I think it's a guitar. Yeah, I don't think it's a banjo. I think it's a guitar. Yeah. But this has so. What year did T2 come out? 92? 91?
92, I want to say. 92? Let's see.
Because let's not skimp over that either. Because old villain Robert Patrick...
Yeah, 91. 91, sorry.
Is pretty enormous after that. And he doesn't... I read a thing about him that he really loves martial arts.
Right. Yeah.
And still practices to this day. So he was excited to do this movie. And they said, or in this thing, I can't remember the source, it talked about how he purposefully took lesser known movies in order to do martial arts.
Right, yeah, he was just a fan of it, and he's he talks about it. I read in an interview as well that for Double Dragon, he said he's very proud of his his showing on it. He knows that the movie, was not great at all, but he's like, I worked hard every day. I kind of tried to bring a level of intensity and comedy to it, and I think he does fine in that with what he's given.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was perfect. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like you come off of being definitely in my list one of the top 5 villains of all time. When you look at kind of. I don't want to narrow it down to just sci-fi, but I mean, the T-1000 is like one of the greatest villains of all time, and
it's incredible.
It's huge, yeah. And you're coming off one of the biggest movies, at that time, the biggest movie ever. And it's crazy to think like, yeah, I'll do this Double Dragon. I love what you guys are doing with the martial arts world. Sure, why not? Kind of the thing.
And he's not wrong to assume this is going to be a big hit. Right. It's a big movie. It has to do. One would think it's going to be a big movie. It has to do with martial arts. The script is what it is, but he once again probably over delivers in this movie, and he does better than anybody else.
Sure.
I was reading a YouTube quote about on the trailer of this.
Yeah. Someone
goes, "Man, I didn't know Eric Bana started in this movie." And they think he played Bobo.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was not Eric.
No, that wasn't Eric Bana. No. And I immediately was like, did I miss that Eric Bana was in this movie? So I was searching Eric Bana, Double Dragon. Yeah. And Eric Bana was in a movie called like The Last Dragon or something like that.
Right.
And so I kept like, oh, maybe I'm just and I scoured IMDb. To be clear, Eric Bana is not in this movie.
No. Henry Kingi, if I'm mispronouncing it, played Bo Adobo.
Henry Kingi played Bo Abobo.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about Bo Abobo's character?
I loved it. And again, like, immediately near the end, after and we'll get to it probably, but when he's looking in the mirror close to the final fight and stuff like that, it took me back. I was immediately thinking about Zangief in Street Fighter, how Bobo's character is like the really one flushed out with an arc and everything.
Yes,
too.
He absolutely is. Yeah. And I remember that moment as a kid not liking that moment because it's like, no, that's sad as shit.
Yeah, no.
This poor guy. He's the typical villain, and then all of a sudden they give him this 180, and he's trying to help, and he's big and strong, and people are all, everyone's fine with him at the end, but like he just wants a place, and they really hit you with that out of nowhere. Like that whole scene when he's chained up and he sees himself in the mirror, that's very different than anything else in the movie.
Right. It like that whole thing. Like I remember as, seeing this for the first time, I thought he was going to kill himself. I thought he saw the girl and he looked in the mirror and he knew he'd never get that.
That would have been wild if he had just cut himself with glass.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. Yeah.
Damn.
That did not to a dark place. Yeah.
No, well, no. It's set up to where that absolutely could happen.
Yeah.
There was an original story to this script where it was more like the video game, and there was a kidnapping, an assault by like the Bobo character, and the Double Dragons have to make their way through the city in a more traditional way that the video game set up, and fight their way to eventually get to the their love interest, and there is eventually a turn where they brothers have to fight each other to the death.
Do you ever wonder, now that we've done, 2 movies, video game style as far as that have been portrayed in the movies now?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but why hasn't someone just said, it works in video games, and this is what people want to see. Why not just do a level type of movie that would be fun? Like, we talked about with Street Fighter how it could have just pulled away, and done one just like fight. Kind of, you hear somebody say fight with Street Fighter, and you see Guile and M. Bison go at it for the final fight, even if it was just that final fight. But like, why? Like, even with Mario Brothers, it would have been fun just going through the worlds or something. Like, just do what the people want to see, and you will get paid probably.
You won't find me disagreeing with you, especially when they set it up to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, the way Street Fighter does, it's set up to where they could easily, oh no, they're out past curfew. What's her name gets taken because she has the medallion or knows where it is, and now they have to make their way through the city to the ultimate tower where Robert Patrick is.
Yeah, Kogashuko,
and they get to go through all these different gangs. They get to walk down the street. There could easily be a side scroller shot. Like, I mean, it's great. I loved a lot of the set pieces in the backdrop. I like all the different gangs. There's not a movie that I don't like where there's a bunch of different gangs, and the gangs are designated by themes.
Right.
It's not like Bloods and Crips.
Yeah.
I have no favoritism.